he didn't do it.
Out of here, all the evidence that's out there.
When they gonna let it stay out this long and they got a little bit of evidence? They didn't arrest with way less evidence. If nothing else, put him in jail just to put a hold on him.
A dead body found in
Put
your
if
car.
nothing, listen, hold on. If they find a dead body in me and your car, and this is our car, do you think they'll let me and you stay out like long? They got all. So think about this. If they got all this information on him dating a minor, an underage kid, and she looked like a white girl, mixed girl, what nigga they let just stay free like this?
All right, y'all. We back with another video, man. Y'all already know what's going on, all right? Now, look. Today, we're going to go at a different angle at this whole David thing, right? Obviously, the biggest question now is why hasn't he been arrested? So, I got this clip from, it's on TikTok, but it's from like a newscast, and they discuss the evidence and why he hasn't been arrested. Also, Charleston White went on, the same channel he always goes on, Say Cheese TV, and he gave his take on why he believed he's innocent. He made some very good points, and I thought it was worth listening to. I didn't want to really get back on here and make another video because there are thousands at this point of the evidence pointing toward him being guilty. But I just figured we'll go ahead and we'll do the opposite and discuss, is it possible that he's not guilty, even with all of the physical and online evidence? Well, I can't even really say physical. I don't know if there's much physical evidence, but plenty of foreshadowing and online evidence. Also, something I'm not sure many people pointed out. Real quick, when I logged on, I made a mistake and typed his name regular. I just typed in David. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. And I realized we've been witnessing basically 2 live energy harvesting rituals. Charlie Kirk and them believing that, Israel was behind his death. And then we're dealing with David, which I also see as a huge ritual. And when I typed his name in normal, I was like, dang. As many of you may know, David was a king of ancient Israel and Judah, according to the Hebrew Bible and Old Testament. And I said, man, former king of Israel, David. It may be an obvious, connection, but I said, man, we are witnessing 2 huge rituals, and they were running together. They basically happened at the same time. I think they originally found her body before the Charlie Kirk thing, if I'm not mistaken. But once they ID'd her and all of that stuff started, this was happening at the same time. The same time. I just thought, this was a little odd, right? Considering his name, stage name, whatever, is David. I thought that was very odd and something to note real quick in the video, right? It's crazy because when you think about the foreshadowing all the way back to Romantic Homicide, right? Which was dropped in 2022, right? When you think about it, I watched some interviews of him, and he seems a lot wiser and smarter than what he should have been at that time. He was 17 years old making that kind of music. Something inside of me made me feel like, he had already channeled some spirits, because in order to foreshadow something that hasn't happened, you need help from the spirit world. It's like he was using her as his muse. You need help from the spirit world. You have to host something in order to foreshadow it that good. That's why I feel like it's a ritual from the start. It just, I don't know. some of the stuff that was being foreshadowed years before this took place just doesn't make sense. And it seems like there's a lot more spiritually going on that he might have got involved in. Because, he had the whole Tommy or something like that, his like evil alter ego that murders, and, his mind was definitely off, you know? And I just feel like he was already hosting spirits that allowed him to, you know, foreshadow this. And man, I just feel like these are two giant rituals happening right in front of our faces. But let's check a little bit of this out, and then we're gonna go into Charleston White. All right, y'all, check this out.
David has not been arrested, and I think a lot of people are sort of astounded that there hasn't been movement. I think I went off the air on Friday and might have been a podcast afterwards saying I expect an arrest pretty soon. What are your thoughts on this, and what's the general consensus?
Yes, I agree with you, Ashley. But at this point, I am thinking there is so much evidence to parse through. I mean, in terms of the fact that they searched his house for, 8 to 10 hours, that's going to take time, DNA, possible blood. And then you have David, who has admittedly said that his entire life is online. I mean, this guy is all over TikTok. He's all over Discord. He's all over Reddit. I mean, they are going through his devices, Ashley. They are going through his text messages, his emails, everything and anything they can find, and that takes time. Additionally, the internet sleuths have dug up so many photos, so many videos, and police are paying attention to that. But they also have to make sure everything is authenticated here, right? That everything is real. So I am hopeful that we'll see some movement this week.
Yeah, well, if anybody out there is fabricating videos with AI and sending them to the police, they're going to have a knock on their door. It's called obstruction of justice and filing false reports, etc. All right, so Pascal, something that Lauren just mentioned struck me, and that is that people have been finding things online, including video of David cleaning a pair of shoes, the same shoes that Celeste was seen wearing in other images.
Yeah, the internet sleuths will always be undefeated. And let me just say that really quick. Yes, they did find some videos of him, or one video of him actually cleaning a litany of different shoes. And at the very end, he started washing these Jordans that apparently she's wearing in some photos. Now, a lot of people are wondering, is that him? Are we watching him live getting rid of evidence to a crime, or is he just simply cleaning some shoes? I think a lot of people are wondering a lot of this, and again, man, the connections to everything has just been out of this world.
Yeah, Shagun, I have a hard time believing that anybody would commit some terrible crime and then go online to show the aftermath. I just can't imagine it. I think it's more fascinating that it's the similar pair of shoes, like just yet another connection between this girl and this singer. But Shagun, that's really the issue at this point. What kind of actual connections are being made other than she disappeared after she went to a movie with someone named David, and a teacher who said, I had a student named...
I guess now the question is all of this evidence to the police pointing toward David, the singer? Now, we got to keep in mind what I was talking about in the beginning, as far as this feeling like a ritual. And I want to touch on that a little bit more after we get done with some of these clips. All right, y'all.
Like, has anybody been able to make a hardcore connection to a romantic relationship between these two? Because you know what that means. Then it's not just a murder investigation or a suspicious death. It's also child sex crimes.
Well, Ashley, you bring up a really good point, and let's with what Lauren said and what Pascal said, let's keep it at its most simplest level. The tattoos are problematic, that they have matching tattoos, or the body found in the trunk of the car and the singer David have that same tattooed on their fingers. That's problematic. The point you brought up, Ashley, of someone going online and, wearing the same shoes. We saw O.J. Simpson write a book that said, I didn't do it, but if I did, here's how I would have done it. So people are dumb, usually criminals, That's why they get caught. They do something stupid. And this guy is doing songs and making videos where he's hacking up meat and songs to her with her name in it. So if we put it at its basis level, I need him.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. This has been one of the bigger rituals I have seen in a minute. And it shows by how many people are investigating online and trying to tie every single piece of evidence back to David. And it's there. It's not that people are reaching or, stretching the situation, and it's there. How? I have no idea. It's almost like this shit was planned. That's why I brought up the thing with Charlie Kirk in Israel and David, his name, as far as the Old Testament, David in the Bible, former king of Israel. This is why I just brought that up, because they both seem like two huge rituals being done right in front of our face. We have to ask each other, we have to ask ourselves, this seemingly just kind of came out of nowhere. No one even knew bro, I never seen David in my life until this happened. You gotta ask, obviously he had fans, obviously, but the majority of people, even when I did my video, we didn't know who David was. We have to ask ourselves, why did this happen at the same time as Charlie Kirk's? Something ain't adding up here, y'all.
Have you been seeing the thing about the David kid, the artist that was dating a 13-year-old?
Yeah.
Found the body in his trunk.
Yeah.
What you think about that?
He didn't do it.
Out of here, all the evidence that's out there.
When they gonna let it stay out this long and they got a little bit of evidence? They didn't arrest nigga with way less evidence. If nothing else, put him in jail just to put a hold on him.
A dead body found in your car?
Listen, hold on. If they find a dead body in me and your car, and this is our car, do you think they'll let me and you stay out like long? They got all, so think about this. If they got all this information on him dating a minor, an underage kid, and she looked like a white girl, mixed girl, what nigga they let just stay free like this? We already claim about injustices. You don't think, like we see in all the first 48s and crime units victims, they would find some kind of reason to hold him and keep him, make sure he don't do nothing to flee? They're not, no arrest. They got all this evidence to point to say he did it. He done sliced the body up because the body was butchered. So that means somewhere there's a location where there's been blood, where they put cut the light.
Now, that's a very good point. That's stuff we don't know about right now until the investigation, keeps unfolding. The body was butchered. They said it was only, unless I'm mistaken, they said it was only a head and a torso. Where was the rest of her body at? Where did it get cut up?
They got all this, no arrest. Y'all really think he done this, and everything points at him. That's why you can't go with this. If everything points at him, why hadn't they made no arrest when we see niggas get arrested with less evidence? With less evidence, circumstantial evidence they go to trial with. So they got all this physical evidence in his car, his girlfriend. Come on, man. Something.
She ran away to his house.
Maybe the uncle was. That's why she ran away.
What do you mean? She ran away from her house to the artist's house. She's been missing for a year. The body comes up missing. The body was found September 7th or 9th. The body's missing. He's still going on tour. The body's in his car, chopped up, and he's still going on tour. He didn't report the car stolen. He didn't, bro, he's talking about her music.
So you mean to tell me OJ was found with a bloody glove, he was arrested immediately. Immediately, with all the circumstantial evidence they found on OJ, they placed it. So you mean to tell me they got all of this on this, and he still get to move freely amongst America, and they had to say, hey, we need to house arrest him, we need to do something. Nothing. We don't have no evidence of him going into the police station talking to nobody, but all of this evidence is against him. And y'all want me to believe that a black man in America get to move this freely with this much negative publicity on him, and he's possibly guilty. I like to think outside the box. I like to think outside the box, guys. Why would they let him walk this freely, only to lose endorsements and sponsorships and cancel shows and not his freedom? In the climate that we're in.
In his car, though.
Listen, who said it's his car? The police
The
or
car's
the media?
registered under his name.
Registered under his name. Maybe I bought it for them. Him, her. I got a bunch of cars out here I done bought, Sean, for people. That don't place me as the murderer. But as good as technology is today, you guys want me to believe that every single piece of evidence points at his guilt and they don't have probable cause to arrest him.
Okay.
All I'm gonna say, I mean, he making good points. It's not nothing anybody else can't do. I mean, we can all sit here and obviously there's more going on. He may not be the only one involved in this. I mean, when it comes to stuff like this, you know, all possibilities have to be considered. So what Charleston White is saying is not, you know, this is not nothing to look at him crazy about. Despite all the evidence that points at David, I mean, if he is guilty, oh yeah, send him up through there, lock him under the jail. Of course. Even as far as messing with an underage little girl, oh yeah, put him under the jail. But we have to consider all possibilities for sure.
Death. He was dating a 13-year-old girl.
So we got all the evidence.
It's evidence.
And you want me to believe that she's dead and the police have not even arrested him for being involved.
I don't know if he killed her.
Hold on, listen to me. The mother of somebody can say he was messing with her, right?
The mother did.
So you mean to tell me if he was really messing with her and they got proof and evidence, if nothing else, they get him on sex charges with a minor so we can at least hold him in jail while we investigate this murder, while we can put pressure on him. See, right now, there's no pressure on him to talk or nothing.
Now, that's a very good point. Usually in cases like this, if they have proof, without a doubt, they'll get you for the sex crimes to hold you until they can prove the murder. That is a very good point, because by now, you think they had enough evidence to prove that he was physically dating her and doing things with her underage. He definitely, at the minimum, should have been arrested for that by now.
So obviously the evidence don't really point at him. They don't let black men get away with these kind of crimes, Sean. Not in America. Not under this president. Not under this president, homie. Not under this president with this Department of Justice and FBI director. They are not fit to let a black man. You see what they did to Diddy?
He's randomly on video washing all her shoes. Are you seeing this shit?
I am, and I'm also saying
who randomly do you?
I'm supposed to know. I wasn't in a little bit. But I'm saying they must ain't got no evidence that he was that little hoe. And I know they said, man, he wrong for calling her a little hoe, but she was. Little girl don't run away from home. Little hoes and little bitches do. Little fast mannish ass, hot pussy hoes and bitches do. Little girls stay and listen. So yeah, that was a little hot pussy little girl running away. And somebody was fucking her before she ran away. That's how she get fucked outside the household. Somebody fucking her within the family. So make her go outside searching for that dick at that age. So now, man, listen. Maybe there's no proof that he's been messing with her with the matching tattoos. Maybe there's no proof of it. Maybe mom's saying it, but maybe there's no proof. Obviously, homie, because you cannot make me believe as quick as it is and easy it is to lock up a black man just for allegations. Just for allegations. You mean to tell me they ain't arrested this guy? With all of this evidence, maybe the evidence don't point to him. Maybe it's just the public opinion, the public court's opinion. But obviously, homie, the police don't have enough evidence to charge him with all of this speculation. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
I ain't saying he did or he didn't. Why they ain't moved on it if he did? And they have all of this pointing at him. And they're taking down black celebrities. Remember, they were just saying that. Diddy, Jay-Z, they're taking down black. So why they ain't took him down yet then? And they took Diddy down for less. So y'all help me make sense of it. Help me make sense of it. Is he the fall guy for a music executive that done it? Because they like kids too. They like kids too. Was he the guy that went out and got her? Because they have to have somebody go get the kid like Charles Manson used to do.
Woo! Made a crazy point to end that off. You know, is he the fall guy for the labels? You know, some executive that did it? Because they like kids too. He is not lying about that. He is not lying about that. Ultimately, it just goes back to what I was talking about in the beginning. I feel like we were witnessing two live rituals, harvesting that loosh, energy harvesting at its finest. I believe, you know, as far as the name thing goes, David and Israel, I believe there's a slight connection. And there's just more to be determined. Like I said, with all the foreshadowing that David was able to do, I believe he already is a host for some powerful demonic spirits. That's how no one knew about him, and then now, you know, this happens right at the time of the Charlie Kirk ritual in Hollywood. I think it's a show, y'all. I think it's a show, and it's also part of the reason why nothing has happened yet. And hey, I mean, they could put out today that, hey, David's been arrested. He's been charged with everything. You know, it still won't change the fact that I believe these are rituals. And there's just a lot left to be found out. It's a crazy story, y'all. Thousands of people are covering this every single day. And it's almost unlike I have ever seen, at least in a long time. In a long time. This one is huge. Huge on the internet. All right, y'all. We'll go ahead and wrap it up right here. Anything else comes out about this situation, y'all know we'll be on it. That being said, y'all, it's Black Balloon. I'm gonna see y'all soon, all right? I'm out.